Many people have the dream of becoming a profitable digital freelancer, being free to travel wherever they like, getting a good income, but also having a great lifestyle balance. But just like many kids and teenagers dream of scoring the last goal in a World Cup or singing to a crowded stadium or even becoming a famous YouTuber, many people believe that that is just fairy tale stuff. It's the things that is only achievable for the very, very lucky few. And I did believe that as well until I achieved it myself. Because the fact is, for the last 10 years, I've been living that dream where we've lived in different countries and we've also taken extended trips. Just late last year, we went away for a family holiday for both December and January. So we were away for 2 full months, and those 2 months were actually our second and third highest months in terms of revenue. All while we're having a family adventure in Japan and really just having an extended holiday. So I'm living proof that yes, it is highly achievable for you to be able to become a successful freelancer. And by that, I mean profitable, where you're living the right type of lifestyle where you are doing some work, but you've also got that freedom to live and holiday wherever you like and whenever you like. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the broad steps that you need to take in order to achieve that dream if you're wanting to become a profitable digital freelancer. But just in case we haven't met yet and it's your first time here, my name is Aaron Young. I'm from Define Digital Academy and I'm your 15,000 hour Google Ads master. So I achieved this from managing Google Ads accounts. As I said, I've been a highly profitable Google Ads freelancer for the last 10 years. Now, even though I've achieved it through Google Ads management, these same principles could be used for anything in the digital space, whether that be web design, web development, SEO, or social media, anything that all you need is a computer and an internet to be able to run your business. Now, before we get into these steps, I do want to give one warning right at the start, and that is that it will take time and it will take work. So if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme, this is definitely not the place for you.
Hey, hey, hey.
And the reason for why I'm happy to give out these steps is because I know that these steps won't make any difference unless you actually act them out. And once again, it takes time and it does take effort. But by following this process, you will achieve this goal. And rather than it being 3 steps, it's more sort of 3 principles that you need to always be able to act out and follow in your life. And the first one is that rather than thinking in years, you need to approach life in decades. And the reason for this is because I've said this quite a few times right here on my channel, is that people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, but underestimate what they can achieve in 10. And someone else put it like this, is that when you look at your life, you need to think of it like this in decades. In your 20s, what you want to be doing is you want to be trying absolutely everything. Trying all of the different things that appeal to you in hope that you can find something that you are good at and that you enjoy doing. And then in your 30s, once you've found that, you just focus on that skill and you focus on that, whether it be a career or whether it be an individual skill set, and you focus on that. And the reason why you want to focus on that brings you to your 40s is because you want to attain that expert status. And that's when you really cash in on your first 20 years of your work life and where you're earning a vast majority of money for the skill set that you've created. And then in your 50s, they go on to say that you try not to work too much. So I'm not at my 50s yet, but that's what I'm hoping my 50s do look like. Because I've realized is that is what's happened in my life. In my 20s, I tried a whole heap of different things. I went from working in the fitness industry, and yes, it's a little known secret that there was a period of time where I used to wear some really tight lycra in order to get paid. Please don't judge me. I've also gone and done pharmaceutical sales. I worked in the non-profit sector. I was also in real estate for a little bit of time. And I tried all these different things until we stumbled across starting our own business. But that's when things took a turn, because when we started our own business, we needed to do our own marketing. And I just ended up doing our own Google Ads. And that's where I found the thing that not only I loved, but that I was really good at it. So for the last 10 years, I focused solely on running Google Ads campaigns, because what I found out in my early 30s, what I really enjoyed doing was using Google Ads to help people grow their own business. And remember how I said earlier to think in decades, and that when you're in your 30s, you really do focus on becoming an expert in that period of time. And the reason for why I gave a warning at the start as to why it takes time and why I need to think about becoming a successful freelancer as more as a marathon as opposed to a sprint is because it brings us to this next point. And that is that you need to focus on becoming an expert. And becoming an expert can't be achieved in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. It can't even be achieved in a couple of years. And the reason for that is because you need to build out a wealth of knowledge. So individually for me, for Google Ads. It took me managing Google Ads through high times and low times. So through different crises, through different worldwide pandemics. So through the different cycles of the market, for me, I had to get attuned and see different products and different types of campaigns working on the backdrop of different cycles, whether it be different economic cycles and things that none of us thought that would happen, like the worldwide pandemic that we've just gone through. All of those different levels help build your expert status. And the reason for why that is so important to attain, because I've found in my own career, I've now been able to charge up to 20 times more than what I previously used to be able to do. And the reason for why I can do that is because I've built up the credibility with my clients where they see the value in paying me that higher amount of money. And as we said, that's not going to be achieved through 1 or 2 years. So my strong recommendation to you is, rather than becoming a bit of a jack of all trades and knowing a little bit about a lot of things, you want to really pitch and market yourself to know a lot about a very limited number of things, because that's when you will be able to charge more money and you'll be able to be seen as a thought leader and an expert in your field. And that's where you can really cash in so that you can live that life that you're wanting to live, of becoming a freelancer who's living and working the type of balance that they want to work. So they're living where they want to live and they're holidaying where they want to holiday when they want to take those holidays. And now that brings us to the third point, and that's being comfortable to change your calendar regularly. And what I mean by that is that my schedule, the way that I plan out my weeks, looks really different to what it did 12 months ago. And it looks vastly different to what it did 5 years ago. And that's because my focuses are now changed. 5 years ago, I was still in the building phase. So up to 50% of my calendar each week was devoted to prospecting and finding new clients. And then the other 50% was focused to outwork, actually acting out and completing the tasks that I was getting paid for. Whereas now I do little to no prospecting at all. And the reason for that is because I've been able to build my profile through year-on-year results, getting great results for my clients, and then starting to reach out into other avenues like I'm doing here on YouTube, and just general referrals of previous clients telling their friends and family members and work colleagues about the results that I've got them for their business. That has grown my network and it has grown my circle of influence. And once again, that doesn't happen over a 1 or 2 year period. That's year-on-year growth that does take time. And even now, on top of that, I've built out a different support team. So I've got other people helping me on my team that I just didn't have 5 years ago. But what I've learned for success is you need to be able to recognize the different seasons you're in and adjust your calendar accordingly. Because if I had have continued using the same weekly schedule that I was using 5 years ago, it would have put a limit on my success. And the way that you can adjust and know what you need to be doing with your weekly schedules is by taking time out to regularly look at where you currently are and what you need to do. For me, I've got this little black book here. Now, I'm not going to show you what's inside the book. Well, that's a book that every 3 months I take that book with a pen, I go grab a breakfast and a coffee at a quiet cafe, and I look through my current goals, I look through my current schedule, I look through the tasks and projects that I've got coming up over the remainder of that year. And that's when I then plan out my calendar. And by my calendar, I'm looking at what do I need to do every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, whatever days that I work. For me, it's only Monday to Thursday at the moment, but I plan out each day and allocate those tasks that I need to be doing. And the reason for why this is such a key to success, because as I said, if you're at the start of your journey, you'll need to allocate time to actually learning your skill. You need to allocate time to finding new clients. You need to allocate time to maybe assisting some other agencies or doing some white label work with different digital agencies so you can increase your skill. But if you don't take the time out to look at your calendar and work out what you need to be focusing on, you're just going to be running around and you're not going to achieve what you really need to achieve. So remember, if you're going to achieve that goal of becoming a profitable digital freelancer, firstly, think in decades. Remember that it's a marathon, not a sprint. Secondly, focus on becoming an expert in one thing. Rather than knowing a little bit about a lot of different things, focus on those core things that you really enjoy doing, that you know that you're good at, that you can really give most benefit to your clients. And then thirdly, be willing to review and change your schedule and your calendar so that you're putting the high priority time on those high priority tasks that you need to get to that next level of success right now. So what I want to do now is I want to help you further. If you're wanting to use Google Ads as the method for how you're going to become a successful digital freelancer, what I want you to do is I want you to follow that link in the description below, because I'm going to give you access to my Google Ads optimization checklists. And this is the framework that I use for optimizing all of my Google Ads campaigns. And you can have that and it'll let you know all of the tasks that you need to achieve and also lets you know how often you need to complete those tasks. So if you want access to that, just follow that link in the description below. And then secondly, if you're right at the start of your freelancing career and you want to know how you can sign more clients, especially how you can sign your first client, because that is sometimes the hardest thing to do, I want you to go through and watch this video right here where I break down how you can sign up your first client right now. Once again, thank you for joining me. My name is Aaron Young. See you next time.